What's up, guys? Welcome to my podcast, Talk Your Talk. This is your girl, Jay, and welcome to episode 37, Bilingual. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification button, and that like button. I know I've been MIA. You know, a mom's duty is a mom's duty, but I hope everyone's having a great night or day wherever you are. Alright, let's get into this episode 37, Bilingual. Growing up, you know, it was hard for me to understand English. Like, my first language is Spanish, and then it was English. So having two language, it was hard for me. It's like, what the fuck? Like, how am I going to use my tongue, my mouth, my thinking when it comes to Spanish and then English? You know, some people are born with just one language. Some people are born with multiple languages to speak. It's hard when you're like a child and you want to learn another language, but you can't. Even though you don't know what they're saying until you Google it, what they're saying, or buy a translator. Or whatever, you know, it's really hard because your mind is processing, okay, wait, you have to say it this way, but you can't say it because you're talking a whole different language that people don't understand, but other people understand it. It's very diverse when it comes to bilingual. But you can dominate it because you practice it. Okay, I know how to say this in Spanish or whatever other language. But, you know, when you live in America, obviously you have to speak English. You can't be, you know, I'm just going to speak Spanish. No, because most of the things here is just, it's great to speak Spanish in homes, or if you're hanging out with friends that are from the same culture as you. But when you're in school or at a job, you have to talk English because that's the domain name, and you have to understand what they're saying. If you don't understand what they're saying, then grab yourself a dictionary or Google it and try to like understand the meaning of the words or a whole phrase, whatever. Just try to understand it. To me, the hardest language any language is really hard. Like if you're bilingual, there's really hard languages out there that you don't understand, that it will take you years to practice and learn it. But if you know the basics, English and Spanish, that's super easy. But if you know Chinese and English, yeah, because her parents are from China, yeah, and then so forth, like so on. It just gets harder and harder. I think the hardest language to really dominate is Latin. And you have the tribes. The tribes of any country around the world is the hardest because they have, when I tell you they have multiple languages that you understand what the fuck are they saying. Not even Google will help you. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. But any tribe around the world will talk to you their own language, and you just, I don't know what they're saying, because it's a hard language, and people are studying, people are studying new languages, how to communicate with people if they're suffering, if they need help, or they don't know how to speak English and they're just here to help, which is important. Language, or being bilingual or trilingual, whatever you want to call it, is important, because you were born in a different country and then you come to the U.S. for the first time. Then you gotta really break it down how you're gonna speak, other people gonna laugh at you. It's hard for a beginner. That's why you have to teach your kids a different language at very, very such a young age, so they can pick it up. Oh, my mom speaks Spanish, my dad speaks English, or they speak English and Spanish, or it could be any language. It's not just Spanish, y'all. But it can be any different language around the world where your parents are from, and it's really cool when you bilingual, because you not only you wanna talk shit about other people that don't like you, but you wanna confront them, but you don't know how to say it in English. You say it in your own language. It's pretty kind of like cool and not cool at the same time, because you don't want to be disrespectful. But in your case, if you're being bullied or disrespected by that person, then you'll be like, I'm gonna talk my shit in my language in your head, okay? And the other person will be like, what the fuck did you just say, nigga? What the fuck did you just say? And you'll be like, nothing. That's how it be in other cultures. If they're gonna talk shit, they're gonna talk shit in a different language that you don't even know what the fuck they're saying. So that's why it's always important to stay cool with other people, respect their culture, their language. If you want to learn their language, ask them, hey, how do you say this? How do you write it? Not write it, because writing is totally different than saying it or speaking it. It's much harder at writing it down and shit. You gotta have to really use like audio for any language around the world, because new languages are expanding around the world. They're expanding, they're mixing it up. It's like, what the heck? And the alphabet is only 26 letters, but other countries uses like less than 26, less than 26 letters in the alphabet. And then as you see, the writing is like different from the English basic words. In Spanish is different. Learning a language is pretty cool. It's pretty awesome, but there's a lot to keep up with. A lot. It's like if someone from, let's say, Germany wanted to learn English, it's harder for them to learn English because they don't know the words. They only know their own language. But if they practice and practice, they get better. They get better and better and better from speaking German to English. So they're bilingual. they can speak 2 languages or more. I mean, some people, I don't know who can speak more than 5 languages, and it's not confusing. It's just you have to practice how to say it and write it sometimes. But it's the pronunciation. It's good to practice. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell, like that button, and check out my store. The link is gonna be in the description box. And y'all have a good night. Peace out.